You ever had to like yell at someone and it like was a one and done, like just did something, did a lot, it's too extreme, said it too fast, said it too loud, raise your voice. Yo, if you raise your voice nowadays in any setting at someone because you got upset and you get a little out of your zone, a little out of your element, and you're raising your voice, dude, that can get you hurt. Dude, it can get you like, you got it not, Brand. Let me tell you something about this video right here. Let me know if you can relate to this, where a lot of situations went downhill for you because you just straight up raised your voice, yo. Some people can get away with it a little more than others, you know what I'm saying? Depending, it could be positioning, authoritative positions, work, whatever it is. You ever witnessed like someone, like a manager or someone, like pointing or like downing, talking down, or like, do that better, you know what I'm saying? Man, I wish I never raised my voice, because these managers would be like, yeah, do that better and stuff like that. When you see that and you hear the narratives about, yeah, that manager hard, yeah, that manager, he cold, dude, watch out for him, he's a hard one, that manager hard, yeah, and then do that better, hey, get over here, do that, yeah, that manager hard. Nah, check it out, man. But when you raise your voice, and let's say you're in the same position as that person, man, they just quit. They did something way too much. Now there's arguments, now there's back and forth, now things are said too fast and too loud. What am I trying to say? You got to call things out in a certain way. You can't be over here yelling and raising your voice, not in a time like now, because it's in an emotional time. It's in a very emotional, soft time where things can get extreme real fast because of the way things are said. So, honestly, you just really gotta call bullshit out, though. But sometimes it has a lot to do with the way you respond. But it's about taking action. You ever been in a bullshit scenario? Or like a lame situation? What's an example of that? Like a bullshit scenario. Let's say there's like a business. And there's a business being ran. It's going pretty well, actually, but now there's conflict and someone doesn't want to be there anymore. And it's, the tension's getting pretty high and they don't want to be there anymore. So I'm going to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. And, eventually someone comes to take that person's place there. And this person went somewhere else, but it's the same mechanism, same thing, So, you know how it be. There's a lot of gossip that will happen because people know people, with affiliations and things like that, So, it gets better, and where this person went, well, it's drama over there too. So, now things are getting better and better. There may have been a move around here and there. Hey, maybe someone got married. This person at this business got married. They had to move. You know what I'm saying? They had to move to a different state because that's where they want their new beginning to start. So someone had to cover that. Someone else came. Okay? Guess what? This person want to come back now because they're doing better. They want to come back, and guess what? They come back. And the drama is there. And slowly but surely things start to get worse and slow, and it's lame and it's bullshit scenario, and it needs to be called out, because if you don't call it out, now this person came with their bullcrap trying to call out things that were already better, and now it's worse. These people didn't see it, and now this person just got away with damn near, like, I don't want to say murder, but you know what I'm saying? They got away with a lot right there. Because you didn't call it out, yo. And you want to know something? And that was just an example. You know, it could have been a bad example, but you want to know something? You ever, like, have someone, like, try to, like, make you yell? Like, try to, like, do stuff and do the build up thing? And try to make you, like, yell? And, like, the way you did it wasn't, like, yelling. Sometimes you could raise your voice and make them hear. The tone, like, moderation, like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, like, I'm just kidding. I wish I never yelled. Because it's where the majority of situations, one and done. Because you raise your voice. And now, what was bullshit that you called out, that was accurate, that was validated, that had all the logic, that had everything, all the proof in the pudding, is not going to be taken seriously because of the way you said what you said, and you said it too loud. So I didn't want to make this too long, but one thing I want to say to end this is stay on point with your communication. I really, honestly, if someone had to ask me what, like, educational subject is really important, is English, grammar, vocabulary, communication. I think there's a lot of power in writing too. That could do much more than even things like this. Sometimes I think relationships of mine would have been saved if the way I communicated didn't make things look a certain way. So people get caught into different things. Or views now. Who saw this? The way it looks. External things. For example, imagine if I had a blog writing about this instead of showing myself talking about it on camera. You want to know something, and it's not my fault, and it's kind of like ridiculous, but I gotta say it. Friendships and relationships would have been saved because it would have looked different, and it wouldn't have had you get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not trying to. It would have been different, That, I think that's a good example when it comes to, like, communication and just putting up with things under pressure. I know it had nothing to say with, like, under pressure, but it's like the way. It's the way. Act fast, but calmly, and you got a boundary. You gotta not. How could you say something hurtful to someone you love? How does that happen to us? Have you ever said something hurtful to someone you love, yelled at someone you love, didn't mean it, and it actually ended the whole thing? Damn, son. Are you serious right now? And that's real? So that's what I'm trying to say, yo. Nowadays, you just can't, like, get triggered like that. And get, like, too emotional right away. You gotta just, especially under these lame situations, even if it's happening intentionally, which is the majority, you're gonna have to find ways to handle that stressful, lame, whack, BS situation under pressure, and you gotta make it look cool. You gotta make it look cool. You gotta make it look like you ain't sweating. You gotta show you're valuable. Let me end it there. Show you're valuable. That's what I meant by the grammar thing. You ain't gotta be no grammar. This is nowadays, it really is proof. Put in the work and care. The things you learn by yourself will be more valuable than the education system and the college curriculum that they're teaching. If you know how to teach yourself about things that's really important and really put the effort in that. I know, easier said than done. But anyway, back to what I was saying, the grammar and English and communication and practicing the way you communicate. And I like this. I like this. This is a more comfortable day for me. It's just, I know, kind of a random day, but stay valuable. Show that you are aware enough to comprehend social situations right away, and that you're trusted in that situation no matter what's thrown at you. Because people will go out of their way, and that is a whack situation. And when you've got people who go out of their way to make things harder than it really is, and to stir the pot over nothing, that's a big deal. Things can be talked about, things can be taken care of, but when you're going out of your way to make situations stressful when it was not like that before, and you have the nerve to come back and it was better when you weren't there and trying to do all this, that needs to be called out. And the way you do it is going to dictate the way things are. So do not do the outbursts. Show that you're trustworthy, and people will see that no, you're a perfect representation and representative for what you're doing, and you are, and that you can be trusted because you know how to communicate in the proper way while handling BS situations under pressure, where you're being put into nonsense when it was better before, and now it's BS, and now you need to redirect things. Things may be harder. You may need to work harder, not getting the benefit out of it. That's aggravating. You may want to outburst. Do not yell at people, who dictate your current position. Do not yell at people that you care about. Don't raise your voice at people you love, because it'll make situations damaging. You can't take back that outburst scenario, yo.